Time to jump into the thrilling world of Big Hero 6, the series. Premiering in 2017, this action-packed show brings us back to San Francisco, where Hiro, Baymax, and their friends take on new villains and high-stake missions. In this video, I'll break down the major adventures, unforgettable characters, and the intense final moments that made this series a fan favorite. Stick around to uncover the full story of Big Hero 6, the series. But first, a little context. This is Hiro Hamada, the genius young inventor and main protagonist of the story. Despite his age, Hiro is exceptionally smart, driven, and always ready to dive into a challenge. After the tragic loss of his brother Tadashi, Hiro becomes the leader of the Big Hero 6 team, determined to protect the city from any new threats that arise. Then we have Baymax, Tadashi's creation and Hiro's loyal companion. Baymax is a gentle healthcare robot with a nurturing nature and an endless dedication to keeping people safe. But don't be fooled by his soft demeanor. He's ready to step up and defend his friends in battle with his state-of-the-art upgrades. Next is Gogo Tamago, a fierce and determined member of Big Hero 6. Gogo is known for her speed and strength, and she's often the first to jump into action when things get intense. With her no-nonsense attitude and magnetic disc wheels, she's an invaluable part of the team. Let's not forget Wasabi, the cautious yet highly skilled member with a love for precision. Equipped with plasma blades, Wasabi may seem overly careful, but his attention to detail and skill make him a powerful force in the field. Then there's Honey Lemon, the cheerful and optimistic chemistry expert. Honey Lemon brings an endless supply of creativity and positivity to the team, using her impressive knowledge of chemistry to create all sorts of unique weapons and gadgets. Lastly, there's Fred, the team's fun-loving mascot and biggest fan of superhero lore. Despite not having any high-tech skills, Fred has a massive enthusiasm for heroism and joins Big Hero 6 with his monster suit, bringing humor and a unique edge to the team. Now that you know the Big Hero 6 squad, grab your popcorn and let's dive into adventure. In the first episode, after defeating Callahan and losing Baymax, Hiro begins his studies at San Francisco Institute of Technology with his friends. On his first day, Hiro finds Baymax's healthcare chip hidden in the robot's rocket fist and decides to rebuild him. Though interrupted by Professor Granville, who restricts lab access to advanced students, Hiro continues his efforts. Yama, a villain from Hiro's past, coerces him into stealing a sculpture from the dean's office. With Fred's help, Hiro retrieves it but is betrayed and captured. Hiro's friends rescue him, and together they complete Baymax's new body. However, Yama uses Hiro's design to create a Baymax army for his boss, Obake. As Yama's Baymax clones attacks the city, Hiro and his friends take up their superhero roles again, calling themselves Big Hero 6. They save the city and Aunt Cass from a runaway train, with Hiro learning he needs to honor Tadashi's memories by being himself. Professor Granville then grants Hiro access to Tadashi's lab, acknowledging his growth. Together, the friends commit to their superhero lives, now aware that Obake is watching them closely. In the next episode, 2 weeks after stopping Yama, Professor Granville introduces Hiro to Carmi, a former young prodigy at SFIT. Though initially friendly, Carmi quickly turns cold, preferring to keep her distance from Hiro. During patrol, Hiro and Gogo encounter a criminal duo, High Voltage, and lose the fight due to their electric powers. At school, Fred suggests they reference a comic issue where a similar villain duo was defeated, though it's only available through his rival, Richardson Mole. Later, Hiro discovers Carmi has a crush on his superhero alter ego, but still doesn't recognize him in costume. After several failed attempts to stop High Voltage, Gogo realizes the situation is to cut their power source. Using rubberized tech from Honey, Gogo blocks their electric attacks, disables the power orb, and traps High Voltage. The next day, Hiro thanks Granville for helping him learn from Carmi, choosing not to reveal her rude behavior. Carmi gains a bit of respect for him, but remains distant. Meanwhile, Obake studies photos of Big Hero 6, particularly focusing on Hiro and Baymax, his face ominously glowing as he plans his next move. In the next episode, as SFIT's cafeteria, Wasabi panics when Honey accidentally freezes her dorm with a new ice formula, forcing her to stay at Gogo's apartment. While moving in, Honey leaves her chem purse unattended, and a thief named Dibs steals it. At the warehouse, Dibs overhears Alistair Cray discussing a valuable new neurotransmitter that controls anything linked to it. Attempting to steal it, Dibs accidentally breaks the chem purse, covering himself in purple goo and transforming into a gooey monster. Living together proves challenging as Honey's cheerful habits clash with Gogo's routines. Later, they argue over the stolen chem purse, which Honey believes will turn up eventually, while Gogo's convinced it was stolen. Meanwhile, Fred discovers a monster in the city, which turns out to be Dibs, now dubbed Globby. During a confrontation, Baymax reveals that Globby's goo is controlled by the neurotransmitter. The team fails to capture Globby, who then kidnaps Cray. At a skyscraper, Globby becomes frustrated, and Honey, encouraged by Go-Go's apology for criticizing her optimism, reassures him, inspiring him to let Cray go. However, despite feeling appreciated by Honey, Globby decides to embrace villainy, stealing Cray's wallet and fleeing as a newly self-declared supervillain. In the other episode, at breakfast, Fred calls for urgent help, leading Big Hero 5 to rush to his mansion, only to find he needs help preparing for his Brotilliana gala to introduce him to the city's elite. Fred fears embarrassing his mother, especially with rival Beverly Binky Mole attending. His friends teach him manners, including Baymax helping him learn to waltz. When the caterer cancels, Hiro suggests Aunt Cass take over, bringing the team along as servers. At the Brotillion, Baron Von Steamer interrupts, mistaking Wasabi for Fred and kidnapping him to lure out Fred's father, Boss Awesome. Fred shows his friends his father's secret den, learning about his superhero past and Baron Von Steamer as his nemesis. The team splits up to search for Wasabi. Honey Lemon, Go-Go, and Fred find him just as Baron Von Steamer starts to lower him into lava. When the villain unleashes a giant steam-powered spider, Fred faces his fear of spiders, using his dance skills to evade attacks and ultimately melting the spider's leg, causing Baron Von Steamer to retreat. The Brotillion is relocated to the Lucky Cat Cafe, where everyone celebrates. Fred's mother expresses pride in him, and Aunt Cass's catering gains popularity. The night ends with Fred dancing happily, reassured of his growth and his family's support. In the next episode, Aleister Cray is poisoned by a master thief, Momokase, who steals half of a gravitational disruptor from his office. Meanwhile, Aunt Cass, after mistaking Hiro's absence as a bot-fighting adventure, ends up in an underground food fight cooking competition where she faces off with rude celebrity chef Bolton Gramercy and wins his nod. Momokase returns to steal the other half of the disruptor, fighting Big Hero 6 and escaping with it. Cass, unknowingly drawn to the cooking arena, becomes a competitive favorite, sneaking out nightly and winning each round. Suspicious, Hiro and Baymax follow her to the arena, arriving just as Momokase challenges her in a sushi competition. While Big Hero 6 retrieve the disruptor upstairs, Momokase tries to sabotage Cass, even trapping her in a net. Cass ultimately wins the competition, while Big Hero 6 fight Momokase's men. Wasabi accidentally activates Ruptor, creating a zero-gravity effect, which helps Cass serve her dish just in time. Momokase is arrested, and Cray's disruptor is returned. Cass earns Gramercy's respect, and Hiro is proud of her courage against Momokase. In the next episode, One Foggy Night, Hiro, Baymax, and Fred spot the Mad Jacks, a thrill-seeking trio attacking Aleister Cray's yacht. They manage to fend them off, but Cray hides the real reason for the attack. He bought a black market chip with unknown secrets worth stealing. The next day, Hiro, feeling unwell from the encounter, hides his worsening cold from his friend. Cray is later kidnapped by the Mad Jacks. Hiro, despite being sick, tries to rescue him alone, breaking his leg in the process. With no choice but to rest, Hiro reluctantly stays in bed. The Mad Jacks release Cray after he hands over the chip, and Big Hero 6 starts searching for them. Hiro, controlling a remote robot from his bed, assists his team in retrieving the chip, forcing the Mad Jacks to retreat. Though his friends thank him for the help, they urge him to rest. Meanwhile, Cray discovers the chip is blank, unaware it's a bug planted by Obake, who now gains access to Cray's tech systems and uncovers Hiro's secret identity. In the other episode, Go-Go, Honey Lemon, and Hiro are testing a ping-pong robot when Fred interrupts with news of a fire at a tiki torch factory. The team scrambles for their suits but faces delays, only to find that the firefighters have already contained the blaze. Later at the Lucky Cat Cafe, Aunt Cass proudly shows off Mochi's new trick, a slow clap, which Honey Lemon films and uploads, making Mochi a viral hit. Fred, with 2 tickets to the Maximum Insane Obstacle Challenge, invites Go-Go after the others decline. Meanwhile, Hiro struggles with a new suit delivery system, but it fails repeatedly, giving each teammate the wrong armor. As Mochi's slow clap video overshadows the obstacle challenge in popularity, Mr. Sparkles, the show's host, becomes jealous and kidnaps Mochi, threatening to launch him into space unless someone completes a challenge. Hiro's latest system, Vic, malfunctions and sends their suits into the ocean, so Big Hero 6 heads to Mr. Sparkle's set without armor. Hiro creates a new robot, Skymax, to rescue Mochi if needed. At the challenge, each team member tries to save Mochi but faces sabotage from Sparkle, until Go-Go finally succeeds. Ignoring her victory, Sparkles launches the rocket anyway, and escapes on a giant robotic chicken. Hiro deploys Skymax, which retrieves Mochi, reuniting him with Aunt Cass in a heartwarming scene that goes viral. Later, Hiro introduces Skymax as the team's new suit delivery system. Meanwhile, Mr. Sparkles revels in his newfound fame, despite now being a wanted criminal with his wanted poster displayed prominently silently behind it. In the next episode, Obake sends an army of drones to attack civilians, but Big Hero 6 saves the day. Secretly, Obake is trying to uncover the team's identities, having already learned Hiro. The next day, Hiro and Wasabi are forced to partner up for a school competition, despite their clashing work style. Meanwhile, Obake reprograms Noodle Burger Boy, the animatronic mascot of a fast food chain, to scan the team's abilities. During a staged disaster by Obake, Noodle Burger Boy successfully collects data on Big Hero 6's identities and skills. Later, Fred, Honey Lemon, and Go-Go encounter the now hostile Noodle Burger Boy, who escapes to seek upgrades. The team discovers a Crytek footprint, linking the robot back to a military project abandoned by Crytek. At the dump, Hiro and Wasabi's mech suit is stolen by Noodle Burger Boy, who plans to use it against Big Hero 6. Despite their differences, Hiro and Wasabi work together, switching armor to confuse the robot's predictive abilities, allowing the team to defeat him. However, Noodle Burger Boy escapes. Back at SFIT, Hiro and Wasabi present their mech to Professor Granville, who praises their teamwork. Meanwhile, Obake, now possessing Big Hero 6's identities and skills, prepares for his next move after plugging Noodle Burger Boy into his system. In the next episode, Big Hero 6 tracks a stolen shipment of nickel titanium alloy to a warehouse where Yama has built a giant robot, Mega Yama. They disable the robot, but Yama escapes. The next day, Hiro is excluded from a special science workshop with Dr. Trevor Trengrove at SFIT because he's under 16. Instead, Professor Granville sends him to a juvenile science workshop hosted by Wendy Wower. Annoyed, Hiro learns from Wendy that Trengrove was her former lab partner. In Trengrove's workshop, he suspiciously dismisses students who don't specialize in certain fields, then selects Go-Go, Honey Lemon, and Wasabi to work on special projects. Sensing something is wrong, Hiro sneaks into the workshop and discovers Trengrove collaborating with Yama to build a new Mega Yama using his friend's work. Blackmailed by Yama, Trengrove explains he was forced to cooperate due to incriminating information on a flash drive. Big Hero 6 confronts Yama and his enhanced Mega Yama at the docks. Inspired by Wendy's volcano experiment, they use chemical reactions to destroy the robot. Back at SFIT, Trengrove confesses he stole Wendy's thesis years ago, and she thanks him for finally admitting it. Later, during a night tour with Wendy, Hiro discovers a photo of Professor Granville with a young student, sparking his curiosity about her past at the university. In the other episode, Fred takes Big Hero 6 to a Kentucky Kaiju movie, but they're interrupted by a news report of Globby breaking into a bank. During the fight, Globby taunts Hiro for lacking powers, sowing seeds of doubt, which Obake observes to see how Hiro responds. Feeling inadequate, Hiro invents the Nanodex, a nanotech shirt that gives him superhuman strength. However, he soon realizes the shirt is uncontrollable and difficult to remove. Later, Fred unveils a life-size Kentucky Kaiju robot he commissioned, but it's hijacked by Noodle Burger Boy, who sends it rampaging through the city. Big Hero 6's efforts to stop it prove futile. Hiro, inspired by advice from Fred's father, lures the Kaiju onto high-voltage line, electrocuting and disabling it. Searching the robot's remains, Hiro realizes Globby's taunt was part of a larger plot. Obake, watching from his lair, confirms his plan to test Hiro's intelligence, now understanding how far Hiro's potential can go. In the next episode, Honey is taking classes at the San Francisco QR Institute, but she hasn't told her friend. During rivalry week, both universities try to prank each other, scaring Honey. Meanwhile, Granville, Wasabi, and Fred guard the cafe, and the heroes, Baymax, Honey, and Go-Go, enter the S-Fe, where they encounter a secret lab belonging to founder Lenore Shimamoto. Honey takes her diary and reads parts of it, although some pages are blank. Obake, disguised as a curator, tricks him into giving the diary to him. The big hero finds the 6 diaries, finds Obake, who traps them in rooms recreated with tests. The team defeats the test, and Obake escapes, leaving the diary behind. The group explains to Honey that they knew about her classes in SF all along and didn't care. Obake examines the fake diary and finds secret formulas on the blank page. Carmi starts writing fanfiction about herself and Big Hero 6, which pleases everyone in SFIT except Hiro. Meanwhile, Obake breaks Momokase out of prison. When Big Hero 6 confronts him, he tries one of Go-Go Carmi's suggested moves and discovers that it works. Soon, Wasabi, Honey, and Fred follow him. While Hiro is embarrassed that Carmi has fallen in love with his alter ego and refuses to accept any of his ideas. Eventually, Momokase discovers Carmi's stories, kidnaps her, and holds her captive in her old laboratory on Akuma Island. Big Hero 6 arrives, but they're all captured as the island's structure prepares to crumble. However, Hiro reveals that he's been following Carmi's story and activates Baymax overdrive mode, allowing them all to escape. Hiro thanks Carmi and allows her to continue writing their story. With Fred unable to fight crime alone without causing harm, Hiro finds Minimax, a miniature sidekick for Baymax, who's assigned to Fred while the rest of the team is in class. Minimax Baymax succeeds, but Fred begins to trust him too much. Meanwhile, Hiro becomes suspicious of Granville's past and begins to follow him. He visits a remorse Callahan in prison, and Callahan reveals that Granville was involved in an accident at SFIT years ago. Hiro later meets Granville at night and shows him the new security system Obake has taken over. Granville explains that he had a student he trusted very much and that he was involved in an accident and that he took the blame. Fred and Minimax saved them by tricking the system into self-destructing. Afterward, Hiro and Granville begin to trust each other more. Angry at each other, Barb and Juniper steal a cry battery each, hoping to power up and search for the orb. Meanwhile, Mole angers Fred by stealing his idea for a superhero museum and showing him a fake autographed photo of the Lizard Man. Fred then reveals that he is Fredzilla and part of Big Hero 6. Not worried about their safety, Mole blackmails them with personal favors until they decide to become members themselves, wearing a little red variant of Fred's costume. Barb and Juniper discover that the orb was taken from the police archive and is now in Mole's possession. They go to his comic book store and make up. Go-Go and Fred defeat Barb and Juniper and rescue a half-grateful Mole. However, when he tries to retrieve the orb for himself, he's electrocuted and forgets their identity. Fred is then attacked by a creature that quotes Shakespeare's The Tempest. Meanwhile, billionaire Liv Amara arrives at SFIT to see Baymax. But when she learns that Hiro didn't build it, she's instead attracted to Carmi's nanoreceptors, making Hiro jealous. The creature then attacks Cray Industries, and Cray makes a similar statement, linking it to Orso Knox, another scientist who was supposed to visit Fred and Cray on the day of the charity gala. Hiro upgrades everyone's suits with ultra armor. His friends realize that he's still jealous of Carmi's success with Amara because he's started keeping a tally of their successes. They each bring him back to reality by reminding him that he doesn't have to be better than everyone else, and that Carmi has her own unique abilities just like his. At the gala, Baymax, Wasabi, and Fred continue their search for the monster, while Hiro, Honey, and Go-Go attend the ceremony. The gala is held inside a large tent filled with many rich and powerful guests. As the party continues, the Orso Knox monster appears just as Liv Amara takes the stage to give a speech. Baymax, Wasabi, and Fred hold the monster at bay while Honey and Go-Go put on their suits and evacuate the guests from the tent. The Big Hero 6 lure the monster into the tent and try to trap it inside by throwing everything they have at it. Despite all their efforts, the monster escapes from their grasp. The monster is about to attack Liv Amara, but Carmi uses his nanoreceptors to calm the creature down. This not only saves the day, but also gives Liv more incentive to support Carmi in her efforts. She offers to take the monster with her and have her team find a way to save Mr. Knox from the monster mutation. As they prepare to transport him, Hiro thanks Carmi for her help despite his jealousy. Carmi responds by awkwardly declaring her love in a way that embarrasses Hiro. As the gang prepares for Wasabi's birthday, Hiro finally decides to take Wasabi's car out of the lake. All the while, Obake watches from the shadow. Meanwhile, Fred is upset that he didn't live up to his father's expectations after Boss Awesome's statue is erected. Go-Go and Honey Lemon restore and repair Wasabi's car, but suddenly they receive a message from Baron von Steamer, who's planning a new attack if Boss Awesome doesn't show up. With the help of Mr. Fredrickson, Fred disguises himself as Boss Awesome to confront Steamer. Obake uses his radio frequency device to help Big Hero 6 realize that the Boss Awesome statue is actually Steamer's new machine. Big Hero 6, along with Wasabi's newly replaced car, successfully destroys the machine and arrests Steamer. They realize that Obake wants something from the water as it turns H2O into D2O, deuterium oxide. Various battle robots start robbing banks in San Francisco, and many innocent people are arrested. Big Hero 6 quickly realizes that Yama is behind this. Hiro decides to return to the robot fighting ring to find evidence, but he encounters Trina, a young robot fighter whom Hiro helps and falls in love with. The rest of the team begins to worry for Hiro's safety, and the mission is jeopardized when Hiro is arrested again and punished by Aunt Cass. He manages to sneak out and defeats Yama to reach the final. However, the team learns that Yama has an ally, and Hiro realizes that Trina is behind the thefts. They defeat her robot while she escapes. Hiro thanks his friends for supporting him. Elsewhere, Trina returns to her father Obake and they show him a diamond they stole. However, Obake tells Trina that collecting trinkets is a waste of time and asks her to show him something useful instead. Trina then opens her face to reveal her true robotic appearance and projects a hologram of Hiro talking about Tadashi when he confronted her earlier. Seeing this, Obake says that he offered Hiro freedom, but Hiro chose to put him back on a leash. Obake then proceeds to silence Trina and tell her that it's time to move on. On Halloween night, the gang goes to a haunted house where they're sprayed with a gas that unknowingly implants digital imaging lenses in their eyes. Later, Big Hero 6 sets out to stop Noodle Burger Boy's latest crime, but Hiro is distracted after seeing that Tadashi is alive and roaming the city at night. He finally meets his brother in the haunted house, overjoyed to see him again, but soon realizes that it was an illusion created by Obake. The lenses made her fears seem real. While the rest of the team faces their greatest fears, Noodle Burger Boy steals a high-powered magnet from S-Fit. Later, as Hiro and his friends regroup, wondering how Obake knew them so well, Noodle Burger Boy delivers the magnet to Obake, who plans to use it in a machine he's building. After stopping Globby from stealing a piece of Cray tech, Hiro learns from Cray that it is a broken piece of a failed energy amplifier. Inspired, Hiro decides to recreate it for the open house finals, but is rebuffed by a visibly distraught Granville. He goes ahead anyway and becomes so busy that he ignores his friend. Honey tries to do a project on Lenore Shimamoto, even breaking into her secret lab and finding an old wax filter. Fred hatches a plan to catch Globby by presenting a fake amplifier, but Globby arrives with Noodle Burger Boy, who unknowingly tampered with Baymax due to Hiro's late arrival at the open house. Honey steals Shimamoto's message and reveals that Shimamoto was the cause of the great disaster of the past. Obake then reveals himself to Granville and has Noodle Burger Boy, Globby, and Momokase attack the open house so they can steal Hiro's amplifier. Later, Granville, aware of the identities of the Big Hero 6, reveals how he recognized Obake. The tampered Baymax kidnaps Hiro and takes him to Obake. Obake reveals his plan to create a star to destroy San Francisco so that he can rebuild it with Hiro as a protege. Globby changes his mind and frees Hiro, and they unite with the rest of the team to stop the impending destruction. Honey and Globby fight the flood, while Go-Go and Wasabi protect civilians and fight Momokase. Hiro, Fred, and Minimax then use the Kentucky Kaiju to create a powerful wave that disrupts the star and causes Obake's lair to crumble. Obake frees Baymax and sends him to rescue Hiro, who resigns himself to his fate. Granville decides to surpass Hiro for his heroism and admits that he's not sure if Obake survived. In the final scene, Hiro and Baymax search for Obake underwater. Baymax says that he still cannot detect his body, but Hiro insists that it is impossible for him to be alive. However, Baymax reminds Hiro that nothing is impossible, as he once said. As they continue their search, Obake's chip is found undamaged at the bottom of the sea. In the first episode of Season 2, Fred tells the team that Phase 2 of the Big Hero verse has begun, which Hiro laughs off. Meanwhile, Noodle Burger Boy retrieves a damaged Trina from the bay. The next day, during a tour at Psychorax, Hiro sees Carmi's lab and becomes envious, deciding to get an internship at Cray Tech. Cray reluctantly hires him, but Hiro's duties involve menial tasks, much to his disappointment. As the team searches for Noodle Burger Boy, they realize he's malfunctioning and on a destructive path back to his home, Cray Tech. Noodle Burger Boy captures Hiro, Cray, and Baymax, hoping Hiro can repair him. Hiro fixes his damage, but tries to remove Obake's chip. Before he can finish, Trina arrives and prevents him from turning her brother good. Hiro saves Cray from danger using a super magnet, and Trina and Noodle Burger Boy escape. The next day, Cray offers Hiro his own lab at Cray Tech, though Hiro realizes he'll still be fetching coffee and dry clean. In the next episode, Liv Amara, having escaped prison, hires Momokase to steal specific high-end white foods as an investment. Meanwhile, a masked thief breaks into Fredrickson Manor, stealing rare white Stilton Gold cheese from Fred's fridge. Professor Granville helps the team deduce the thief target. Momokase is stealing expensive white food. The team catches her stealing caviar, and Baymax nearly defeats her until his battery runs low, allowing her to escape. Granville later reveals Momokase's prison escape was kept quiet to avoid alarming the public. As Hiro repairs Baymax, the team realizes Granville's help has become overly intrusive. Meanwhile, Liv Amara implants a biochip into Momokase, enhancing her with graphene claws. At a fancy dinner party featuring only white foods, Big Hero 6 confronts Momokase but are trapped in a pantry. Granville and Baymax come to the rescue, and Granville uses strategy to keep Momokase occupied until the team escapes. In the final battle, Momokase's claws and newfound abilities make her a formidable opponent. The team eventually traps her in ice, and Granville apologizes for overstepping. However, Momokase breaks free, transformed with monstrous features, and escapes into the night. In the other episode, Aunt Cass, worried Hiro is working too hard, arranges a lunch date for him with a friend's daughter, Megan. Just as they're set to meet, Big Hero 6 learns that High Voltage has escaped from prison. Go-Go and Fred stake out Richardson Mole's comic shop, hoping to intercept High Voltage, but leave after hours without a lead. Meanwhile, Liv Amara frees High Voltage from prison and manipulates them into performing more crimes to repay her. Hiro and Megan meet for lunch, and Hiro realizes he has few hobbies outside of his studies and hero work. After an enjoyable conversation, Hiro agrees to attend a school dance with her, making Aunt Cass thrilled. At the dance, High Voltage appears, performing a song claiming they've reformed. However, they soon mutate into eel-like creatures, prompting Hiro to call the team to battle. With Fred's new chameleon suit and Honey Lemon's gelatinous shield, Big Hero 6 fights High Voltage until they escape. Hiro reconnects with Megan outside, only to meet her father, Chief Cruz, who disapproves of vigilantes like Big Hero 6. Hiro feels uneasy about this discovery. In the final scene, Amara observes the fully transformed, eel-like High Voltage swimming in an aquarium in her office, hinting at her role in their mutation. In the next episode, after failing a job interview due to his powers, Globby seeks help from Hiro and Honey Lemon, who arrange for him to work at the Lucky Cat Cafe. Motivated to help him permanently, Honey Lemon works on a cure for his condition, with Carmi's assistance in solving a regeneration issue. Overnight, Amara's assistant Chris steals parts of Globby's sample, which Amara uses to create a regenerating glob creature, later dubbed Nega Globby. She then lets it loose on the city. After testing Honey's treatment, Globby returns to his human form, Dibs. However, when Nega Globby attacks, Dibs decides to remutate to help the team. With Globby's strength, Honey Lemon's prototype Kimpurse, strategic teamwork, they finally defeat Nega Globby. However, a small remnant of the creature's eye remains on Globby, hinting it may have survived. As the team celebrates Globby's heroism, they wonder where Nega Globby originated, unaware of Amara's involvement in creating it. In the next episode, Fred and Heathcliff encounter 3 remote-controlled cars on the road, leading Big Hero 6 to discover that they're part of an underground racing competition hosted by Mr. Sparkles and Yama. Go-Go reluctantly joins the team's stakeout, but later finds herself at a surprise party thrown by Honey Lemon, who announces she'll be moving back to her dorm. Go-Go's conflicted about her feelings but struggles to express them. Seeking a way to infiltrate the race, the team recruits Heathcliff, who, with Fred in disguise, attends the event. There, they learn the race is a diversion while Mr. Sparkles and Yama execute a heist. Big Hero 6 confronts Yama at Richardson Mole's comic shop, only to realize Mr. Sparkles set him up, taking the money for himself. Go-Go pursues Mr. Sparkles on her new hypercycle, disables his car, but he escapes in his chicken-themed aircraft. Back at the apartment, Go-Go asks Honey Lemon to stay, admitting she enjoys her company. Meanwhile, Mr. Sparkles goes to Psychorax, using the stolen money to pay Liv Amara for a special ability. In the other episode, Hiro accompanies Cray to Muirahara Wood, where Cray plans to buy the land to build the tech campus, only to encounter Liv Amara, who wants it for a nature conservatory. As they attempt to outbid each other, Hiro explains the wood's poor reception due to Bessie, a meteorite that interferes with electronics and is protected by local resident Ned Ludd. Amara, however, uses this information to steal Bessie and sabotages Ned by placing a patch on him that mutates him into a monstrous Hibagon. In the woods, Hiro, Cray, and Go-Go encounter the transformed Ned and try to invade him. Meanwhile, Fred, Baymax, and Minimax, who are helping at the Lucky Cat Cafe, lose Mochi and go on a citywide search for Cat. The Hibagon pursues Hiro and his friends through the woods, leading to a chase onto a moving van that Hiro, Go-Go, and Cray manage to drive out of the wood. Fred and Baymax spot them from above and join the fight, but the Hibagon proves a tough opponent. Mochi jumps in at the last moment, scratching off the patch and returning Ned to normal. Cray decides against building in the woods, showing a soft spot for Hiro. Meanwhile, Hiro and Go-Go realize that someone intentionally mutated Ned. They discover Bessie is missing, confirming Amara's involvement. Back at Psychorax, Amara uses Bessie to reveal a powerful raw energy source, ominously stating she will make Bessie beautiful. In the other episode, while searching a junkyard, Hiro and Baymax encounter Trina and Noodleburger Boy, who mention recent monster transformation before escaping. Later, Hiro attends a speakers event at S-Fit with Liv Amara and Alice Cray, trying to expose Amara's involvement in the monster attacks, but ends up embarrassed. Meanwhile, Amara secretly creates a new creature in her lab. A news alert soon reveals the city is invaded by cute creatures called Mayoi. Hiro suspects they're part of Amara's plan, though everyone else is charmed by them. Eventually, the team catches one, but it grows to the size of a bear along with all the other Mayoi across the city. Seeking help, Hiro, Baymax, and Honey Lemon bring the Mayoi to Carmi, who discovers they're plant-like creatures using photosynthesis to grow. Suddenly, all Mayoi grow massive and wreak havoc in the city. The team lures the creatures to Night Market Square, where Mr. Sparkles appears, revealing he created the Mayoi and other mutants. He then mutates himself, controlling the Mayoi with his mind. As Big Hero 6 struggles, Amara arrives with Carmi and uses a cure to revert the Mayoi to their baby form. Though suspicious, Hiro accepts her help. Mr. Sparkles feels betrayed and is carried away by the Mayoi. The next day, the team remains wary of Amara's intention. In the final scene, Amara enters a lab with a mysterious body, vowing she won't give up, hinting hinting at her hidden motive. In the next episode, Hiro, Baymax, and Go-Go encounter Supersonic Sue, an elderly roller derby skater turned supervillain who steals Baymax's rocket first. The team consults Mr. Fredricksen, learning that Sue was once Boss Awesome's rival. Meanwhile, Fred attends a tasting event at Noodleburger with Richardson Mole, who seems friendly but ultimately tricks Fred and steals his prize-capped fancy underpants. Richardson leaves a fake in Fred's room only to reveal later his deception. Big Hero 6 visits Baron von Steamer in prison to ask about Sue, only for Sue to break in, steal Steamer, and propose a villain team-up. Encouraged by Mr. Fredricksen's lesson to help others, even enemies, the team heads to an abandoned factory to rescue Steamer. They find themselves ambushed by Sue and Steamer, who have set a trap to lure Boss Awesome. The battle is intense, with Sue disabling much of the team and Baymax depleting his energy fighting Steamer's mech. Boss Awesome arrives and defeats both villains, with Steamer devastated to learn he isn't Boss Awesome's top enemy, Cabbage Soup is. Fred later discovers Richardson's underpants heist was a lonely attempt to gain friends in his rare comic collection. Deciding to let Richardson keep them, Fred learns the importance of kindness towards others, even rivals, embracing his father's heroism lesson. In the next episode, Big Hero 6 trains for monster attacks, with Fred in a kaiju suit to simulate a real threat. Meanwhile, Liv Amara at Psychorax struggles with her mysterious experiment and considers using gold for biocompatibility after an idea for Chris. At Fredricksen Mansion, Hiro upgrades Baymax with a lie-detecting chip, hoping to expose Amara. They later follow Amara downtown and overhear her discussing her need for gold with Bluff Dunder, who are interrupted by news that Mr. Sparkles and High Voltage are attempting to rob a freighter. Big Hero 6 battles the villains, who are after gold for Amara. They ultimately escape, confirming her involvement. Hiro confronts Amara about the monsters, but Baymax's lie detector reveals she's telling the truth when she says Liv Amara isn't creating them, leaving Hiro confused. Later, Amara uses bear DNA to fuse with Bessie, creating a bear-like rock monster. The creature attacks San Francisco Trust, disabling the team's tech with electromagnetic beam. Baymax lies about shutting down and manages to surprise the creature with an attack. The monster escapes with the gold, which Amara uses in her experiments. Hiro removes Baymax's lie detector and resolves to find out why Amara is behind the monster's attacks. In a final reveal, the real Liv Amara is shown in a comatose state, while the Liv orchestrating everything is an imposter. In the other episode, Liv Amara introduces Carmi to Parasem, engineered parasites meant to destroy viruses but which evolved to harm their host. While Carmi works on a cure, Big Hero 6 grows concerned about Hiro's safety from Amara. When Carmi's progress slows, Amara decides to seek another robotics expert. Hiro helps Carmi create a nano-microbot cure, and they successfully test. Meanwhile, Big Hero 6 rescues Windy Wower from Mist Sparkles and his mutant allies, only to learn that Amara is creating the monsters. Carmi alerts Hiro that Amara is after her, and Hiro rushes to S-Fit only to face Best. Amara then mutates Carmi using a biochip, and Carmi escapes with Hiro and the microbots. Big Hero 6 confronts the mutants across San Francisco. Trapped at Psychorax, Hiro learns that the real Liv Amara, now comatose, created a clone named Diane, or Di, who orchestrated the monster attacks to find a cure. Forced to help, Hiro purges the parasents from Liv. However, Di mutates Carmi and tries to mutate Hiro, using Carmi to attack him. Despite her troll, Carmi begins to resist Di's command. City, Big Hero 6 regroups in a final showdown. With the help of Ned, Lud, and Bessie, they disable the monster's biochips, reverting them back to normal. Back at Psychorax, Liv awakens, horrified by Di's actions. Di is arrested, and Carmi's parents relocate her for safety. Later, Carmi posts a new Big Hero 6 fanfiction where she portrays herself as a hero, leaving Hiro hopeful about the next. In the next episode, at the Lucky Cat Cafe, Wasabi reveals his deep-seated fear of superstition, prompting Fred to help him confront it by creating a superstition obstacle course. However, things spiral out of control when Minimax, flooded with water, begins malfunctioning. Meanwhile, Hiro's friend Megan is investigating the identities of Big Hero 6 for her school paper. Concerned, Hiro tries to dissuade her, but Megan is determined. Fred, now convinced Wasabi might be right about bad luck, searches for a good luck charm, only to end up knocked out and kidnapped. He wakes up to find Minimax, who, damaged by water, has turned villainous and was behind Fred's recent accidents. Big Hero 6 locates Minimax's hideout, and after a tense battle, Fred shorts out Minimax with water, allowing Hiro to repair him and make him waterproof. Megan, however, has narrowed down Big Hero 6's frequent locations, which Chief Cruz takes note of, bringing him closer to uncovering the team's identities. In the next episode, it begins with Mega Yama breaking into prison to free Mr. Yama, but Big Hero 6 intercepts the attempt. Baymax uses dual rocket fist to defeat Mega Yama, foiling the escape plan. Later, the team attends a mecha wrestling match hosted by Richardson Mole, much to Fred's irritation. During the match, wrestler El Fuego is discreetly signaled by Richardson to lose, as his role is to make Good Guy look better. Frustrated with this role, Fuego eventually defies Richardson's orders and wins a match, leading Richardson to fire him. El Fuego, determined to fight a worthy opponent, upgrades his mecha and challenges Baymax. Though Baymax refuses to engage, Fuego's taunts about Baymax affect Hiro deeply as he feels it insults Tadashi's legacy. Despite Baymax's calm, Hiro decides to confront Fuego alone, building a Baymax-shaped mecha for the fight. At Night Market Square, Hiro, disguised Baymax, fights Fuego, but the real Baymax intervenes to protect him. The rest of the team soon arrives, with Fred in a modified suit of his own, and they manage to defeat Fuego. Reflecting on the fight, Hiro realizes that Tadashi's legacy is strong on its own, and Baymax reassures him that Tadashi's work now lives on through Hiro. In the next episode, in a flashback, Tadashi shows Hiro a snow machine he built, but it malfunctioned, creating a mini avalanche in the Lucky Cat Cafe and upsetting Aunt Cass. In the present, Hiro finds a Christmas present labeled for him while helping decorate it, and he decides to figure out who it's from on his own. Later at SFIT, Hiro accidentally swaps backpacks with Fred, who unknowingly carries Hiro's present around town. Realizing the switch, Hiro and his friends track the present's path, discovering it went from Richardson to Globby, then Judy, finally to Cray, who unknowingly discarded it. After searching the dump, they spot the present, only for Noodle Burger Boy to grab it and escape to Steamer's lair, where the villains are holding a Christmas party. Big Hero 6 arrives, and after an initial truce, a fight breaks out over the present, which Hiro finally recovers. Turning home, Hiro learns the gift was from Tadashi, a fixed snow machine. Later, he activates it, creating snowfall outside the cafe, where Hiro, his friends, and Cass enjoy the moment, celebrating their first Christmas without Tadashi. In the other episode, it starts with Big Hero 6 battling Momokase and an unknown partner. Wasabi fights Momokase while the team chases her ally. However, the partner suddenly saves Wasabi, betraying Momokase, allowing the team to trap him and reveal his identity as Hiro. 48 hours earlier, during a lunch date with Megan Cruz, Hiro is summoned by Fred to a team meeting about tracking down Momokase, who recently escaped prison. Meanwhile, Megan, determined to investigate Big Hero 6 connections to Cray, sees a photo of Hiro at Cray Tech, adding it to her conspiracy wall. Later, Hiro encounters Momokase in the garage, who blackmails him into helping her break into Yama's headquarters. Hiro reluctantly agrees, providing her with technology to disable Yama's security. While on patrol, the team notices something suspicious, heads to Yama's building. Inside, Hiro and Momokase retrieve her family's heirloom swords, only to face Big Hero 6 and the police. After explaining his actions, Hiro is forgiven by the team. Momokase distracts the police to protect the team's identities, leaving them relieved. However, Megan, connect clues, realizes that Hiro may be tied to Big Hero 6. In the next episode, it starts with Fred proposing renovation ideas for the team's lair at Fredrickson Candy Co. Meanwhile, an acrobatic thief named Celine Simmerd, also known as Sirke, sneaks into Cray Tech, stealing data from Alistair Cray's computer. At the Cruz residence, Megan Cruz, suspicious of Hiro's involvement with Big Hero 6, heads to Lucky Cat Cafe to confront him. She catches him in his lie and reveals she knows he's part of the team. Hiro convinces Megan to keep their secret and takes her to headquarters to understand Big Hero 6's mission better. During a bank robbery by Sirke, the team brings Megan along. At the scene, Hiro discovers Sirke's use of dangerous portal technology from Project Silent Sparrow, which could cause massive destruction if unstable. To counter this, Hiro develops jet thrusters for the team. They head to the museum where Sirke is robbing, and Hiro pursues her across the city as the portal device becomes increasingly unstable. Hiro manages to stabilize the portal with Sirke's unexpected help before she escapes. Afterward, Megan decides to keep their identity secret and writes an article about why Big Hero 6 anonymity is essential. In a final discovery, Hiro enhances footage of his portal journey with Sirke and catches a glimpse of Baymax's original body floating in space. In the next episode, it opens with Fred calling an emergency meeting to propose night patrols again, despite the team's warnings about Chief Cruz's ongoing attempts to arrest Big Hero 6. Determined, Fred makes several ridiculous videos of catastrophes to convince them, but they dismiss his attempt. Later, Fred and Minimax go on a secret night patrol, but a mishap attracts police attention, leading to a citywide chase. Meanwhile, Chief Cruz has a dinner date with Cass, but he's called away to pursue the lizard vigilante, Fred in his Fred Million suit. Fred and Minimax narrowly escape, but they're eventually cornered. Minimax finds Hiro for help, and Hiro gathers the team to assist. Hiro's plan to distract the police while the others rescue Fred backfire, leaving the team to improvise. After a struggle, they free Fred just as Cruz arrives in Muirahara Woods, where Hiro and Baymax fled. When Bessie, the meteorite's protector, attacks, both Cruz and Hiro are stranded. Hiro, now in civilian clothes, finds Cruz in the woods. Cruz shares his distrust of superheroes, revealing that his father died due to a villain attack when he was a child, and he blames heroes for attracting danger. Reflecting on Cruz's protective nature, Hiro helps him reunite Bessie with her monster cubs, calming. The next day, the team commends Fred's bravery and owning up to his actions. They celebrate with a meal at their base, only for Go-Go to playfully stop Fred's self-narrating with a burger to the mouth. In the other episode, it begins with Hiro, Baymax, and Fred rescuing a falling news helicopter. Afterward, Fred encounters a mysterious villain named Major Blast, who challenges him but soon departs, telling Fred to prepare for their next encounter. Excited to have an arch-enemy, Fred begins training with Go-Go at the new simulation room, SimX, but struggles due to his constant distraction. The team investigates Major Blast and discovers he once fought Boss Awesome in the 1970s, but there's no record in the Fredrickson Mensch file. Major Blast unexpectedly calls Fred, warning him to continue training. Later, Major Blast ambushes Fred during training, and Fred narrowly escapes with Heathcliff's help. The team realizes Major Blast likely knows Fred's true identity. Meanwhile, Go-Go advises Fred to focus, and Roddy encourages him to turn his weaknesses into strengths. During another training session, Major Blast infiltrates SimMax, trapping Fred inside. With help from Go-Go and a clever strategy using distractions, Fred finally defeats Major Blast. The team enters just in time to see Fred unmask Major Blast, revealing she is Mrs. Fredrickson. She explains she created the persona to challenge her husband, and now Fred helping him grow stronger. She expresses pride in Fred, and they share a heartfelt moment as Mr. Fredrickson watches from afar. In the other episode, it opens with Supersonic Stu breaking into the prison to free his partner, Supersonic Sue. Together, they defeat the buddy guards and escape. Meanwhile, at SFIT, Professor Granville asks Wasabi to teach a class as a temporary assist, triggering his fear of public speaking. Despite trying to calm his nerves, Wasabi freezes in front of his student. While he struggles, the team learns of Sue's escape, and Wasabi confronts Sue and Stu, only to be overpowered. Later, Sue and Stu kidnap architect Roddy Blair, forcing him to design a lair for them. The team trains to improve their speed, while Wasabi, despite encouragement, continues to struggle in his next class attempt. Ultimately, he tries again, aided by Minimax's antics, and success teaches without freezing. The team then sets out to rescue Roddy. Meanwhile, Wasabi heads to class, but soon realizes the team is in danger and arrives to save them, cleverly leading Sue and Stu into a trap where the police are waiting. The villains are arrested, and at the end, Cray presents Chief Cruz with an upgrade: Buddy Guardians. In the finale of Season 2, the episode opens with Big Hero 6 battling El Fuego in the alleys when they encounter the new police robots, the Buddy Guardians, sent by Chief Cruz and created by Cray Tech. The robots turn against Big Hero 6, forcing them to retreat while El Fuego is captured. The team becomes suspicious of the Buddy Guardians, especially after Hiro and Megan secretly retrieve a programming chip from one, revealing Obake's programming. Believing Obake may have returned, Hiro and the team try to warn Cruz, who dismisses them. Hiro investigates further, discovering that Cray's secret division has a hidden facility where he finds Trina, Obake's creation, posing as her father and intent on continuing Obake's mission. She's been working with Cray to mass-produce the Buddy Guardians. Trina then seizes control of the Buddy Guardians, attacking Big Hero 6 and even kidnapping Cruz's daughter, Megan. Cruz, realizing he needs the hero's help, joins forces with Big Hero 6 to save her. The climactic battle ensues, with the team rescuing Megan and battling Trina and her robots. With the help of a new Megamax mech created by Roddy and Minimax, Hiro and the team disable Trina's plan to unleash a destructive wave on the city. The heroes successfully replace the corrupted chips in the Buddy Guardians with healthcare chips, converting the robots to assist rather than harm. In the end, Cruz clears Big Hero 6 fugitive status, and Hiro delivers a heartfelt graduation speech about carrying Tadashi's legacy forward. The episode closes with the team's graduation and a promise to continue their heroic work, symbolizing the lasting impact of Tadashi's ideal. In the first episode of Season 3, after the events of the Season 2 finale, Big Hero 6 trains to sharpen their skills in simulation. Meanwhile, Noodle Burger Boy, grieving the loss of Obake and Trina, finds a stash of Obake's chips and decides to create a new family. Later, Hiro, Baymax, Fred, and Minimax go to Hyperpotamus Pizza Partytorium to celebrate Go-Go, Honey Lemon, and Wasabi's graduation. However, the three graduates are preoccupied with job prospects and leave early, leaving Fred worried they may be drifting apart from the team. At a zoo emergency, Noodle Burger Boy kidnaps the robotic mascot Hangry Panda to reprogram her. Big Hero 6 tries to stop him, but they're outnumbered. At their base, Fred worries further, prompting Hiro to search for potential replacements. Later, Noodle Burger Boy attacks another mascot, Crush Room, and kidnaps her as well, building up his new family of villainous robots. When Go-Go, Honey Lemon, and Wasabi apologize for their absence, Hiro and Fred feel hurt, thinking they're leaving the team. Aunt Cass confronts Hiro, reminding him that family can still be close despite life changing. Noodle Burger Boy then targets Hyperpotamus, and Fred and Hiro head to the restaurant to warn the mascot. However, Noodle Burger Boy and his reprogrammed mascots arrive and wreak havoc, causing a runway Ferris wheel with Sarah trapped inside. Just then, Go-Go, Honey Lemon, and Wasabi return to help. Together, they stop the Ferris wheel just before it falls into the sea, rescuing Sarah, but Noodle Burger Boy escapes with the reprogrammed Hyperpotamus, vowing future trouble for Big Hero 6. Finally, the team reaffirms their bond, promising they'll always be there for each other, no matter where life leads. In the next episode, after a long mission, Big Hero 6 returns to their base, only to see a news report from Bluff Dunder about Noodle Burger Boy and his robot team raiding an electronics store to steal a Sergeant Suction vacuum bot. Hiro and the team head out to confront them, leaving Baymax and Minimax to charge their low battery. In a subway tunnel, Noodle Burger Boy unsuccessfully tries to convince Sergeant Suction to join his family. Big Hero 6 arrives and mocks the attempt, leading to a fight with the mascot. The ceiling collapses, trapping everyone except Noodle Burger Boy. Baymax alerts Baymax and Minimax, who despite low power go to help. With the area flooding due to a burst pipe, Big Hero 6 and the mascots are forced into a temporary truce. Realizing their combined strength isn't enough to break through the rubble, Baymax, Minimax, and Noodle Burger Boy seek help from Baron Von Steamer, asking to borrow his giant drill. Steamer refuses, leading to a showdown. When Baymax and Minimax lose power, Noodle Burger Boy, in a selfless act, drains his own battery to recharge them. Re-energized, Baymax and Minimax defeat Steamer, securing the drill. The robots return just in time to save everyone from the flooding tunnel. Though the truth ends, Noodle Burger Boy, now nearly out of power, expresses his affection for his family, prompting the robots to embrace. While they're distracted, Big Hero 6 uses the drill to escape, leaving the mascots trapped and speechless. In another episode, at Fred's house, Big Hero 6 watches Carmi's webtoon Big Chibi 6, which features her character Captain Cutie, Hiro's alter ego, as her love-in. Hiro is embarrassed by the show's portrayal, especially when Carmi video calls him, excited to be back in San Francisco for an autograph signing. At Lucky Cat Cafe, Aunt Cass teases Hiro about his romantic interests, mentioning both Carmi and Megan, leaving Hiro flustered. The next day, Hiro, Fred, and the others visit the comic store for Carmi's signing. Hardlight appears, declaring himself Carmi's biggest fan, and unleashes evil chibi clones of Big Hero 6 in the city. The team fights the clones, but struggles because of the chibi's childlike behavior. Carmi intervenes, revealing a gauntlet she upgraded, which allows her to reprogram the chibi clones of Hiro to help her instead. The clones turn on Hardlight, and Hiro eventually disables all of them by using Hardlight's own gauntlet. Hardlight, revealed to be Ian, is arrested, with a disinterested Judy taking note of his personal time off. Afterward, Hiro and Carmi share a moment, with Carmi implying she now has feelings for someone else. Hiro encourages her to tell him, whoever he is, realizing she might mean him. Honey Lemon comments on their budding romance, while Baymax mentions Megan, but Honey shushes him, savoring her matchmaking success. In the next episode, at Cray Tech, Cray introduces Big Hero 6 to his latest inventions, a potentially dangerous Craystruction sonic cannon and a karaoke machine called Krayoke, which hasn't sold any units. Cray asks them to help promote karaoke, and Honey Lemon organizes a karaoke night, with Fred live streaming the event. Meanwhile, Noodle Burger Boy and his robot sisters infiltrate Cray Tech to steal the sonic cannon. As various characters sing, including Aunt Cass and Professor Granville, Noodle Burger Boy and his siblings manage to break into the cannon's room. Hiro, Go-Go, and Baymax quickly gear up to confront the mascots, who use the cannon to cause chaos in the building. Hiro repurposes the karaoke machine with spare cannon parts to counter the mascot's attack. During the battle, Noodle Burger Boy joins Granville singing, unknowingly disrupting his siblings with the power of sound waves. Big Hero 6 ultimately destroys the sonic cannon, though it leaves Cray Tech in ruin. Cray complains about the damage the next day and is disappointed karaoke wasn't a hit, with only one unit sold. In a final scene, Noodle Burger Boy, the sole purchaser, sings a sad blues song on his karaoke machine until his siblings get annoyed, throwing him and the machine out the window, mashing it to pieces. In the finale of the series, the mascot robots led by Noodle Burger Boy attempt to steal a statue from the Noodle Burger restaurant to use as a big brother, but are thwarted by Big Hero 6 and retreat. Hiro reveals that Go-Go planted a bug on Crush Room, allowing them to spy on the mascots, who are now planning to recruit a new ally. The team decides to send Minimax undercover to pose as a villain and infiltrate the mascot. The mascots hold auditions at a junkyard, rejecting Sergeant Suction, a buddy guardian, and Mega Yama. Minimax arrives, pretending to have turned evil. Though the mascots suspect it's a trick, they accept him, planning to double-cross him later. Minimax, however, grows fond of the mascots, realizing they genuinely care for each other. Later, he shares his feelings with Baymax, who reassures him that robots can have families because they take care of one another. The next night, Minimax leads Big Hero 6 to the Noodle Burger factory, where the mascots reveal they knew he was undercover. They bring in Momokase as an ally, but Hiro then reveals that Momokase was actually on the hero's side. She disables the mascots' programming, allowing Big Hero 6 to capture them. Feeling compassion for the robots, Minimax persuades Hiro to give them a second chance. Hiro brings the mascots to Lucky Cat Cafe, where they become waiters and start calling Aunt Cass their mother. Cass embraces them as family, realizing family doesn't have to be by blood. The episode ends with everyone sharing a heartfelt group hug, with Hiro and Baymax sharing a fist bump in honor of Tadashi. And that's how we came to the end of the Great Big Hero 6, the series. We didn't get to know the rest of the series because it was cancelled, but it took me a long time to make this video, so don't forget to like the video. See you in the next one. Bye!